Michelle and this is Dan. We're from Honeymoon Always. And we've been married about 5 years. We love to travel, we love romantic travel, and we love to write about romantic travel, particularly about honeymoons. So today what we want to talk about is our top 10 USA honeymoon destinations.
Yeah, so a lot of people think about Bali or Bora Bora or Paris or someplace far away to go on a honeymoon when there are some amazing destinations right here in the US. It's easier to get there. You're not going to be jet lagged once you do. You can save a lot of money on transportation.
And especially if you're not super interested or you're more on the new side to traveling. Yeah. Traveling in the United States can be less of a culture shock, so you don't have a language or money issues. There's less safety concerns. Yeah. It's a lot easier adjustment. It could make for a really relaxing honeymoon, and you're not worried about some of all those other things.
Yeah, so we love traveling in the US, and here are our top 10 recommendations for where to travel on a honeymoon in the US.
All right, so the first place that we want to talk about is Hawaii. Hawaii is a pretty obvious choice for a honeymoon. A lot of people are aware of it. It's only about a 4-hour flight from the West Coast. Mm-hmm. Is that right? We just went there about a year ago, had a great time. Obviously, the beautiful beaches, it's super relaxing. There's a lot of really good food, a lot of really nice people, some interesting culture. Each of the islands have something different to offer. So, and you can get more secluded as you go off to some islands, or you can stay in Honolulu and see some more of the cultural sites. So, lots of options there.
Definitely. The only downside to Hawaii is the cost. A decent resort is going to cost over $300 a night. But it'll be right there on the beach, and you can find other options with like Airbnbs nearby. But if you want to go to like a top resort, like we stayed at the Four Seasons last time we were there.
It was a dream.
It's amazing, but it comes with a price tag.
Yeah.
It starts around $700 a night. But still, lovely experience. Can't recommend Hawaii.
And really, it's a perfect honeymoon spot, so you can't go wrong.
Yeah. Our next recommendation would be quite different, and that's Orlando. When it comes from a price perspective, it can be a lot more affordable, and there's tons of things to do, which makes it really easy to plan. If you're going to go to the theme parks, all you have to do really is show up and enjoy the theme parks. So that makes planning a little bit easier.
Now, a lot of people are super into Disney World, and we think that's awesome, but we're definitely more Universal Studios people. And we feel like the rides are a little bit more conducive to people, to adults who like more on the adventurous side. Plus, we are super into Harry Potter, so we can't miss that when we go. But you can't go wrong either way. You can also plan it so you can split up your time between the two if you want to.
Definitely. Next on our list is one of our favorites, definitely probably top for our U.S. destinations, and that is Colorado and the Rocky Mountains.
This is probably a surprising choice, but there's one particular resort called Vista Verde Ranch that's in Steamboat Springs, and it is a magical dreamland, all-inclusive resort. We went during the winter a couple of years ago. It was snowy. There was a hot tub right on our porch that was private just for us. All the food was made by a chef. We had snacks unlimited in our cabin. We went horseback riding, snowshoeing. Like, you can go ice fishing. There's so many things you can do, or you can just stay in your cabin with they chop the wood and bring it into your cabin so that all you have to do is light a match and start a fire. It is so magical and dreamy, and everybody that we talked to who went year round said, every time they go, that's the most favorite time they've ever been. So there's no time of the year that apparently people can pick which is better than another. But Colorado is gorgeous.
Yeah, we're gonna go again actually in October.
Cannot wait.
Back to Vista Verde because it is that good. But also away from a secluded ranch environment, you have all the different ski towns where you can go skiing. Aspen, Vail, Steamboat Springs itself. And then you have Denver, which is the big city. So we went to a basketball game to see the Nuggets versus the Blazers, which Michelle's from Portland, so that was a lot of fun.
Super fun.
But there's also a theater there. We went on a great food tour.
And the food was really great.
Really great food in Denver and great people.
Yeah.
We really enjoyed it there.
Yeah.
Not too different from Colorado is Montana. Montana doesn't have a big city like Denver, which is probably the biggest difference. Their seasons are a little shorter because it gets so cold up there. But if you want the luxury ranch feel, you want to get away from it all, then Montana's a really great option as well.
And if it means anything to you, That's where the celebrities are right now. So that means something to me. They're doing something right. They always kind of seem to know where other cool places are. So
yeah. Next on our list is San Diego, complete opposite from Montana. But they have beautiful beaches and great all year round weather. It's a perfect place if you want to just get away but don't want to fly all the way to Hawaii. They have some beautiful resorts that you can stay at, a great food scene, all around just a great warm environment.
it would just be a really chill honeymoon where you don't have to think about it too much. There's still some like cultural event places. I think there's some theme parks in San Diego, right?
Yeah, they have Legoland, I think.
I remember there being a SeaWorld.
There's a SeaWorld.
I don't know if that's still true, but there are things to do. It just seems like a very chill, beautiful, relaxed environment. So you're not more, you've got all the stress of the wedding to worry about, and that just feels like a really nice, easy place to choose.
Definitely. Next on our list would be the Smoky Mountains. So the Smoky Mountains are actually the most visited national park in the U.S., but they're not crowded. It's just a huge area. And I love the little towns. So like some of the better known ones are Asheville, I've got Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge right next to it. And these little towns are so fun to explore where you have attractions like Dollywood or the Biltmore Estate in Asheville. So really a lot of great destinations within the Smoky Mountains.
It'd be a gorgeous place to go visit, especially during the fall as the leaves are changing with all the mountains and everything. It's just there'd be a lot to explore there, especially if you wanted to do a road trip across all the different cities.
Yeah, and they have a lot of great cabins where they'll have balconies or patios that have their own personal hot tub where you can just sit, relax, and kind of look and see the mountains from your own cabin.
This would be especially good if you don't love crowds of people. Because you'd be by yourself. It would be a super romantic time just with you and your significant other.
Our next destination would be Lake Tahoe, which is a beautiful destination, obviously, where you have the lake in between all these mountains, which gives a great opportunity to just kind of enjoy nature.
Yeah. I've never been. It looks gorgeous. I will say that when I was in college, that's where all the hot people went on vacation. And I wasn't invited, and I'm mad about it. So if you go, please give me a call.
Lots of beautiful cabins and resorts, lots of things to do. If you go in the winter, you can go skiing. In the summer, you can obviously enjoy the lake. But overall, great destination here in the U.S.
Okay, the next one that we want to talk about is the Napa Valley in San Francisco. So obviously there's a lot of great wineries and vineyards that are up in that area. It's a gorgeous area, and San Francisco is stunning. Probably the number one thing about San Francisco that I love is the food. It's a gorgeous area, a lot of picturesque places to go, a lot of really great culture. It'd be a really fun town to go in and kind of like adventure. Also, I mean, obviously the wine tours would be really great.
Yeah, definitely. And I love the food, so that's why I'm there.
Awesome.
Completely different is our next destination, which is Miami. Miami has a beautiful beach, obviously, great resorts right on the beach. Really great food, and there you get to experience the Cuban influence, so they have great food as well, and it's probably the best place for nightlife.
Yeah, if you want to go and live it up because it's your honeymoon, Miami's going to be the place for you to go. Lots of parties, lots of fun places to be, so along with a beautiful beach, lots of beautiful people, super fun.
That's true. And rounding out our list, which is not our last, but it's just the last one we're going to talk about today, and that is New York City.
So when we were first dating, we both took a trip to New York City together, and it is truly that's where I attribute us falling in love. It is such an incredible city. You could go 10 times and do something completely different each time. Some of our favorite things to do are to go try to get cheap tickets to a Broadway show. So there's a lot of places you can look online to do that. However, if it's your honeymoon, you probably want to fit it into your schedule. So it'd be worth buying tickets. And it's pretty easy to tell which shows either are super popular or the ones that you think you guys might enjoy more. So that's always super fun. Something that I had never done before we got together was going to the really nice restaurants, the Michelin star rated restaurants. Dan was a chef before we got married. He used to be a personal chef up in Park City. And so he really taught me about eating at really amazing places and how life-changing that can be. Our favorite tip is to go to a restaurant like that during lunch because it's less expensive, but you still get the really great food. So we've gone to some really interesting places in New York to eat that were completely out of my comfort zone, but are such fun memories and
The first one we went to was Del Posto, which is by Mario Batali, I think. It's right next to Chelsea Market, and their lunch menu, I think it's $45 a person for 3 courses. So like that's a really great price for any decent restaurant.
What was funny about that one to me was that they brought a stool for my cheap ass purse. My purse was like torn to shreds. I'd gotten it like on this sale at Nordstrom or something for like $40, and they had given it a stool because most people who eat at that restaurant have a nice enough purse that it should not touch the ground.
Yeah. Like,
so that was eye-opening for me.
And then I got like a smear. I like smudged my knife onto the white tablecloth, and they came over and covered my little smudge with a white napkin.
And then they apologized to him.
Yeah, they were just like, "Oh, we're so sorry." And like it was over the top, and we had such a great time. It was also great people watching. So go during lunch. There's a couple restaurants always that have like an affordable lunch option. So go during lunch and just do some people watching.
One of my all-time favorite restaurants that we went to was Nomad.
Yeah, Nomad's amazing.
Really, really great food and a beautiful, like, Beauty and the Beast style library. It was amazing.
Yes, check out the library. Even if you just go there for a drink, like, check out the library, check out the vibe. It's a great place.
Yeah. So obviously we have a lot of things to say about New York City.
Obviously.
You don't have to do the things that we did, but we love it so much, and I think there's something for everybody in New York City.
So there you have it. There are 10 of our recommendations for where to honeymoon with in the U.S.
If you take any of our advice and go to any of these places, or if you went to any of these places on your honeymoon, leave a comment. Let us know. We want to hear about it. We want to hear about your favorite places. Or is there any place that we missed that you thought that we should have added to the list? Bye!